if I don't
Hey,
lose my mind first. But I agree with you. I'm going live right now. Keep talking.
can I jump in with a question?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, My fundamental understanding of this is that the Department of Justice is saying no more broker to broker compensation. Is that correct?
Not 100%.
So it happened in
Okay.
California.
But
EXP is kind of ahead of the game because they're watching what the DOJ has done. And so that's why our rules are a little bit more strict on what we're wanting to do. But brokerages are still paying broker to broker compensation. It's just how it's flowing through, and it's the transparency to the sellers and the buyers. So now the buyers are negotiating their terms in advance. The sellers are negotiating their terms, and it's a concession. It's not a set fee.
Well, Elizabeth, in Georgia, I don't know if it's different where you are, but EXP, as a broker, we cannot pay the other broker.
Correct.
It can only
That's
be
EXP stance across the nation.
right. We can only pay, the seller can only pay the buyer's broker, but the reverse can happen. We can receive a commission. If it's our buyer, we can receive a commission if the other brokerage firm is paying from their firm, which is nutty if they do that. I mean, they're putting themselves in great peril, but we can definitely receive from another broker. We just can't give.
Right. And that's where the confusion is coming in, because these other agents from these other brokerages are like, wait, business as usual, and they're sending all this other stuff. And so when we push back, it's just causing a ton of confusion. But you're right, Brad. It's the same thing here. It's just EXP stance, and it's Leo being ahead of the game, right? Like, we have an amazing leader with Leo. He's watching what they're doing. He saw what the DOJ came back with California. He's like, look, this is what's going to come on. This is what's going to come up. So this is our stance as a national company. It's just, it's nutty. But anyway, I know we could beat the NAR stuff like a dead horse. However,
so can I ask this? Essentially, we're saying no more broker to broker compensation is what we think is going to happen across the nation. So that's what we are doing. We can still receive that compensation. We just are not, the seller is paying directly to the buyer's agent, correct?
Our
Me
listing.
and Coach.
Yeah, that's correct. That is correct.
Okay. All right, good. That's what I thought, but I literally just got off the phone with an agent that works at a company that is CB is the number and or the letters, and she said something completely different. So
I'm telling you, that's Todd. That's why I was sending notes, because I'm fighting with this other agent too. Like, it's so confusing, and you don't want to be. I don't want to come across condescending or any, but they're wrong. Like, what they're doing is wrong. I mean, even in Texas, Todd, you know, on page 10 with the with the commissions, that we're not allowed to enter anything in there, which agents buyers and sellers don't initial that page anyway, but we're not allowed to, the rules haven't been, or the contracts haven't been updated yet. That's part of the big lawsuit too. She won't execute the contract until everybody initials that. And I'm like, nothing can be entered in there. It's just crazy. So you're right.
Yeah, it's and I've felt like I've had a great understanding because of this call. Thank you. But it's made me second guess myself. These people just unfortunately aren't moving in the same direction.
You're right. That's why we're all confused. So, yep. Happy Friday. Good morning. How is everybody?
Good morning.
I'm sad that I didn't get to wear my shirt when I was there, but y'all, after, I want us to talk a few minutes because we have Jessica Nieto on here, which I'm so excited. And it's like crazy early for her, and she looks more awake than I do. So, but I'm going to have her, she's going to teach, but also Jessica and I have been very, very involved in Women's Impact Network, which we just had in Austin this week, and it was epic, and so many of y'all were there. But after that event, y'all, here's my shirt. You see it? It's on like Donkey Kong. So fired up. So really quick, Jessica, can we take a few minutes just to talk about Win?
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone. I'm excited to be with you.
If y'all don't know Jessica, she is a force. She's an incredible leader, incredible producer, multi-year icon. She's going to teach us on her incredible strategies on getting listings. She's done a ton of listings, but she's also a servant leader, and she's been really, really involved with WON, which is EXP's diversity program and all the things. But WIN is the Women's Impact Network, and we just had about 300 women in the room in Austin, Texas. I would love for a couple of y'all to just, especially y'all that are newer to EXP. Jessica and I've been around for a while, so we really understand what's special about the company. But for y'all, like, I see, well, Stacy was on stage. I see Stacy, I see Meredith, I see Megan. Like, who wants to give a couple words of your takeaway from that event? Jessica, I see all of you. Maria.
I'll start. I mean, it was honestly one of the more incredible real estate conference type events I've been to. The collaboration in the room. I mean, I've said this from the day I came to EXP, like, I can't believe the collaboration that is happening here, and to see it happen in such a vulnerable way too. I mean, there were so many emotions. It was truly incredible. I feel like it broke down so many barriers between the women there and the men there too. I mean, that was incredible to see Brian Copeland and some others there. Just to feel the support from both sides was really great. The speakers, the panels, you know, I loved that it was not so EXP rah. I mean, definitely we were on display and showing our spirit for where we are, but it was just so much about how the things we all feel and really opening up about the struggles that we all have and being real about that. And it was the best thing I've been to. So thank you for those that were involved in putting it together.
Love it. Love it. Thank you for sharing. Who else?
I'll go.
Oh, yeah.
About a year in with EXP, but not new to real estate. 23 or 24 years with real estate. But what I really got out of it, besides that Meredith just said, was I really came away from that feeling like, oh my gosh, even though I'm at this age and I've been in real estate over 20 years, I feel like this next phase is possibly going to be the best phase of my career. And I've been pretty successful. So to be at my age and feel just like, let's go, it's just starting over again, feels incredible. And I'm so blessed to be surrounded by all of y'all. I just came away just so grateful and thankful for the week. So thanks.
Love it.
What about you, Stacy?
So amazing. I was like, all my notes that I like scribbled. I mean, I could really just go on and on, but I won't. But I mean, I would echo everything that Meredith and Jacqueline just said. And Elizabeth, your post yesterday was like, where do I even find the words? I mean, I really have struggled for the last couple of days because I've wanted to put something out on social to sort of share it with the world. But I've struggled with the words, like, what was that? First of all, it was just Jessica so beautifully put together. The space was beautiful. The lighting was beautiful. You know, us as women, we care about that, all of those things that make us feel safe. So the way you guys created the environment to feel like this is a safe space, but then the lineup, I mean, our MCs were just like, brought the fun and the funk and the, you know, energy, which was amazing. The entire leadership team, I mean, it just felt like it went off without a hitch. The thing,
Go ahead.
A thing that kept bubbling for me was this whole, Betsy started out about we're a whole human. And I think we've all sort of grown up in a world where we're supposed to separate our professional life and our personal life. And I think quietly we've all internally called bullshit on that, because it's just impossible. And I think what the words of Betsy and what the whole event was really about is it's time to bring our whole humanness together, right? And bring that, because it's so much more powerful in our relationships with our clients, with each other, when we come and bring our whole authentic self. I loved too, which, you know, I think what part of what Meredith and Jacqueline were saying is the topics for the panels. I think it allowed us to take it all as to a deeper level, to really talk about what is blocking us from really showing up in our best selves. And you know, I could go on and on about that. Again, I've got like pages and pages of scribbled notes, so I'll spare y'all. But Jessica, kudos to you all for creating a really, really, really powerful event that I think we've just started. We've just got something really special going, and it's just going to be really fun to build upon that. I love that we have this new board of directors, and it's going to be fun to rally with and behind, and just take this, 10x this thing, right? Next year and the next year and the next year. So it was really special to be a part of it, and I'm just grateful to all of you for putting it together.
And
Is
thank
that
you,
Jeannie sitting in
Stacey.
the back?
Yeah, sharing your vulnerability on stage was so powerful, so resonated with so many people. It's powerful.
It was awesome. Maria, all of them, they were amazing. Brad, is that Jeannie back there?
Yes, and I was
Okay, real quick, last one. I mean, because you came all the way in from Georgia too. Share what your takeaways were. Every time I saw you, you were just beaming and smiles. So
Well, I met so many awesome women who everyone's there willing to help, and the quality and the energy of these people were just amazing. And you could not walk away without feeling, you know what, I can take it all on. And I think one of the big things and I don't remember who said this, it said, just say yes. Even if you're afraid of it, say yes. And I think there's so much to be said about that you got to grow from your fears and not let our fears put up a wall. And everyone who worked on this, you just did everything correct. It was a beautifully well put together event. And someone mentioned safety, and I know they were talking about more like the safety they felt with to share within the group. But I also felt safe traveling alone, being in that hotel, being at that location. And that's important too when you have a group of women together. So I also appreciate you took that in consideration. I traveled to DC several times recently on my own, and there were times I didn't always feel so great in some of the nicer hotels. So it was a lovely facility, and you guys are awesome. Jessica, you were always, you didn't know who I was. You always said hello to me whenever you saw me. So, everyone.
Jessica.
Yeah, Jessica, she's great. So.
Well, I love that. Yeah, Kendall Bonner said use the fear for fuel. So pretty awesome. Well, I love that y'all shared. Thank you guys so much. And I know we could probably talk about this all morning, and we will, but just really quick, we will have more WIN events at EXPCon in October. So definitely make sure to be there. Also, we have a workplace group now, Women's Impact Network. Go join that group. It's open to everybody, men, women, everybody. So make sure you join that group because there's going to be a lot more there. So Jessica, it's kind of ironic that we just came off the WIN event and you were so instrumental in, but then we're like, I've had you scheduled for a while just because of your awesomeness in the productivity space. So I know we took about 15 minutes for WIN. I thought that was important though to share.
Super important.
Jess, I just want you to jump in because I know y'all, she's amazing. So you'll understand why I wanted her to come in and pour into you guys. So Jess, I'm going to let you take it from here. I'm going to give you
Awesome.
screen.
Yeah, if you want to make me a co-host.
There you
And
go.
I see, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like less than 12 on video. I know that we're driving. Some of you might not have your due on or whatever it is. Grab a hat, come on video if you can. I'm a people person. This is a people business. We've got to be out there with people. So if you're able to come on camera, I would be so blessed to see your face and share some energy with you. Thank you, Paulo. Well, good morning. So good morning, everyone. It is 7:00 a.m. Pacific time. I get asked by my East Coast and Central friends all the time to come on and share, and it's such a blessing. And I can tell you that just like my first listing appointment, I get nervous and it's excitement before I come in and share. And the reason for that is that just like when we go to a listing appointment, we do not want to take up space in people's lives. We want to inspire and create an impact on the result. And when we have influence, we have the opportunity to create the outcome or have an influence on the outcome that we create. So how many of you are in Texas? Is everybody in Texas? Maria, you're in Charlotte. Not everybody's in Texas. Okay, where else are y'all from?
We've got everybody.
What do we got? Okay, because Elizabeth, by the way, amazing leader. Just super excited to even be in your orbit, Elizabeth. Thank you so much for having me and for welcoming me to Austin. I mean, the barbecue in Austin is insane. So if you haven't been there, oh my God. Shima, You're one of the best people that I've met. I mean, just one of the most absolute, dynamic, intentional people. So great that you came on camera. I want to share with you all that each of us at eXp Realty, and if you're not at eXp yet, the reason why you're here is because you want to be in community. And I want you to take a moment to realize that some of the things that we talked about this morning about us are vulnerability, like how we can, stop believing the things that we tell ourselves about ourselves that hold us back. The reasons why we say no to opportunity. All of these things we have in common with someone else, the people that we serve in this business. And I think often that our framework is, how are we going to go out and get listings? How are we going to generate leads? How are we going to generate more business? And at the very same moment, our nurse clients, parent clients, old clients, all of these potential future clients are wondering how they're going to make time for themselves this afternoon, how they're going to be at practice after work, right? So when we really think about ourselves as the whole human, it can actually help us solve the problem that we might have in our business, which is how we can create better experiences for our clients and create real connection. That, of course, generates business and makes us a lot of money. Who agrees? Awesome. So when I come in and train on how to generate listings, and I'm going to try to share this slide deck because I think slide decks are fancy and some of us are visual learners. So I'll give it like a 2-second try. And if it doesn't work, we'll move on without it. Let me share this guy with you all. So I am a listing agent. A little bit about me. I'm a listing agent primarily. Any business that I get that is not a listing or a client that absolutely wants me to, can you all see that?
Yeah.
All right, let me present it and it'll probably look a little bit better.
There you
How's
go.
that?
Yep, you're all good.
All right, perfect. So Jessica Nieto, I have these first few words on the top because it's who I am. Many of you that have met me might not know if I've ever sold a house. You might think I'm an eXp groupie the way I show up. I don't talk about my production. It's one of the reasons why I love being around Elizabeth. If you met her, you'd think she was just a philanthropist that likes to show up where a bunch of people are. You wouldn't know, all the impact and things that she does every day. So first, I'm a community builder, a connector of people, a mentor of other real estate agents, helping them learn how to not only work in the business, but generate revenue and build legacy. So team leader of a bunch of really great leaders. I have a team in Southern California. I primarily built my business through investors. And one of the beliefs that I had about myself when I came to eXp was that there was nothing I could teach anyone because I built my business through institutional investors, and that wasn't a very fast track way for people to build a business. And so I shouldn't teach. And I changed that belief about myself when I started breaking down all of the ways in which I've been able to cultivate, keep those relationships, and then also train my agents in different pillars of real estate. So year to date, I've closed 88 listings. I've got 24 pending, et cetera, et cetera. You get the picture. I list a lot of houses. This quote is a Roman philosopher, and it really resonated actually this morning. I was glad I had it when somebody said that I feel we are perfectly positioned. And that is so powerful at eXp Realty because the way that we show up, if we show up confused, uncertain, unknowing, not confident, uneducated, uninformed, how do we show up to our clients? We show up confused. We appear confused. Our energy's not there. So luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. And for me, this has really been a cornerstone of my real estate business because wherever I show up, I want to really be present, be that empathetic listener, be the type of listener that's not only, listening to speak, but to really build a true connection with people. So the more that we feel prepared when we show up, the more that happens. We all know the bar in the industry has been raised. So we are responsible for creating or putting yourself into the environment where you thrive. Y'all are in this group and you're on this call this morning. So I want you to take a minute and think about going back to the human in us all. Your clients are craving similar things that you're craving. Like at work, they are craving to be in community. They want a better boss. They want more time with their family. They want all these things. So our job every day on my team, our goals are very simple. We want to cultivate conversations with other human beings. And the simplicity of it is really, truly what has enabled us to list so many homes. So I'm going to give you guys the boring part of it because I don't want you to think I'm going to give you the secret recipe. The real secret and the magic is in the details of these strategies. So I want everyone to think about the last time that they sat down and wrote down every single detail about their process in which they do an activity. How many people are doing open houses? If anyone could come off mic too, because I can't see many of you with the slides. Is anybody in the room doing open houses? You guys got to talk to me.
Yes.
All right, we got
Yes.
open house folks. Okay, fantastic. And then how many of you are calling expireds? And you guys got to come off the mic because I can't see you. Talk to me. You got anybody? Okay. How about
All the
circle
time.
all the time? All right, who's saying all the time? I can't see you. Who do we got?
Sean Fuentes.
Hey, Sean, how are you? Good to see you. So, Sean, I imagine
Good,
you're
good to
doing
see you too.
things. Yeah, you're doing these things all the time. So you've got the consistency, right? But how often are we as real estate agents doing an assessment of our entire process? So I'm not talking about the time you do the open house or exactly how many open houses you're doing. The consistency is key, but the how and the why, right? So let's talk about the open house. I want to jump into this for a minute because it's a perfect example of doing an assessment of everything that we're doing. All right, so open houses. What are you wearing? Seems like a silly question, right? It's not about how great of an outfit it is or what color looks best on you, but how comfortable are you? How prepared are you to be in that outfit all day, from the beginning of putting out the open house signs to the very end when you go home and you show up at home? And then when people come in the door of the open house, I'm going to keep this short. I just want to give you guys an example of what I'm talking about before we move into some strategy. When people walk in the door, what do they smell? How do they feel? How do you greet them? What education, information, and conversation are you going to cultivate and give to them? And how prepared do you feel? So what we've done on our team is we have actually taken every little tiny baby step of what day we figure out what house we're going to open. For example, if 2 people show up, but your friend across town had 25 people show up, do you think it's because of the signs? Or do you think it might be because of the product and just how much activity is expected? These are all things we can prepare for, right? So we can actually target open houses within your EXP community in whatever city you're in. Say, for example, Austin, Texas, if you don't have a listing, you could be building relationships with the agents that continuously list homes and don't have a team. And you could be building relationship to conduct their open houses. Or of course, like on certain days of the week, my office, one of my office admins, we determine which agents, what open houses they're doing. You know, most of my agents on my team do 3 to 4 open houses a week if that's one of their pillars. And what we do is we make sure that we call and identify, my team calls and identifies which open house they're going to do based on what's coming soon on the market, our relationships, et cetera. The next thing we do is we go out and we invite all the neighbors. We do circle prospecting, which I wanted to share with you guys, a script for circle prospecting if you guys are interested. So we start the open house from a Monday and we host our open houses Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I want you to go back to and think about how when you're saying we're perfectly positioned, guys, if you're in a listing appointment and you say, hey, we have a stack of buyer broker agreements this big. How many of you have ever showed your client your CRM of how many buyers you have in your database? Right? Show, not tell. Okay, that's a big, huge thing on my team is show people, don't tell people. Hey, I've got a bunch of buyers in the neighborhood. Show them. Kenny Fast posted the other day, he was on an event and he showed this guy had put out a stack. He had printed every buyer broker agreement that they had in their office. I thought that was hilarious. Just as a visual example of how many buyers they had in that market. So the next thing we do with the open house is look at every step and then how could you do it more excellent? And that's basically the recipe. So for example, if you're doing a couple signs for the open house, what would happen if you did 20? There are so many agents in your market, any market that you're in that's hurting. They would love $50 to go out and touch and feel real estate and shadow you in whatever you're doing. So what agent can you find in your office or local MLS that would love to come in? You could pay them $100 or $50 for the day. They could go out and put signs out for you. They could help you get the house prepared. These are little things and little tweaks, and you may not be thinking like Jessica's bringing the fire and telling me how to list 7 houses this week. But when I tell you that I have an agent on my team, her name's Donica Zaid, and she joined my team a month and a half ago, and she has 6 sides open in escrow right now since she joined my team. And they're all from open houses. And 3 of them are listings. And this is how she got the listings. We asked the client for feedback, of course, and the client said, it was because of the way you made me feel when I entered the house. I mean, wow. It seems so simple, right? And she said, Jess, that's because of you. I said, well, it's not because of me, because you could do it on your own. It's just because I held a mirror to you and you could see who you are. And it's like we were talking earlier about, like everyone wants to find this life balance, and it's not about balancing your life. Like, I don't think Elizabeth Riley could become a person that balances life. It's about integrating yourself into every part of your life. And that's everywhere that you show up. So if you're at an open house, how do you integrate yourself and what part of it can you control? So I'm going to finish up the open house with this. When we look at an open house opportunity or the open house strategy, we see a house where we can completely control the environment. It's a great answer, by the way, for anyone that says, well, I like to go to an office. I'm like, perfect. We've got an open house as an office, right? It's a perfect time to do your follow-up, meet clients, cultivate new relationships. You can control every component of that environment if you pick the right open house. And then you can also create a setup desk. So here's what we're doing with all the new changes with NAR. We have a check-in desk. Sean, I'm assuming you do check-in, right? Before people can walk in the door?
Depending on the layout, but yes, they come in, I try to have them sign right away and then let them explore the house and then answer any questions.
Okay, well, Sean, I'm a person that walks into the open house. Oh no, I just want to look around. How do we respond to those people?
I think that's great. I think you should look around. I'm sure you'll have questions. I will have some answers. The seller is wanting to know how many people came through. So if you could just sign in really quickly, it takes 2 seconds, then you can get to looking at the house and figuring out if this is the right one for you.
I like it. So I have another script that works extremely well, and you guys might have heard it before, ladies, you might have heard it before, which is thank you for visiting the open house today. So, I just want to look around. So it's thank you for visiting the open house today. By the way, people that come to my open house come for 1 to 2 reasons. And 1 is they are thinking about buying, or 2 is they're curious how much their home is worth and how it compares to this one. Which one are you? You see how I pulled them back in and took control? I'm controlling the environment. And the reason is because you cannot walk into a restaurant anymore without giving out your phone number, right? And this asset, this $500,000, $1 million, $2 million asset is the most expensive asset that my client owns. And there's no way in hell you're coming in this house without signing my sign-in sheet and let me know who you are. That's how I feel. That's not what I say, but there's absolutely no way, right? So we have a form now in our MLS. I don't know if y'all have one, but we have a form that's essentially like an open house disclosure. So I jump, that might create the conversation. Look, all we're looking for is how to cultivate the conversation and get it going and build rapport, right? Oh, great. You want to look around? Awesome. I'm excited for you to take a tour of the home. This will only take a second. We need you to log in real quick. Since, of course, if I was coming to your house, this is the most expensive asset that my client owns. They want to make sure we know who's coming through. And if you have an agent, that's fantastic. We just want to be able to follow up with them so we could get that feedback if you're not willing to share today. So listen, those words kind of flow out of my mouth and I could go different directions. And so again, it goes back to doing the analysis of every single strategy that you have in your playbook, whatever those 3, 4, however many pillars you have, and going every little step of the way. Most of the agents that come onto my team, when I ask them if they do, open houses, expireds, what are your pillars going to be? Most of them have one that they say it doesn't work. How many have heard that from agents? Open houses don't work. It's not that open houses don't work. It's that you're not effective at conducting open houses, period. There's something wrong in your formula and it's not working. I'm going to give you another example. I truly believe that we have to take accountability for every step of a process that goes wrong. Obviously, feedback is the most helpful way, but if we can't get honest feedback, and sometimes the reason is not our problem or something we cannot control, but that's the difference that takes you from being a real estate agent to a profitable, successful real estate agent. It's not the strategy. It's the effectiveness of how you do it, right? So once we take accountability for that, whether it's expireds are one of the top ways. It is the least expensive way for an agent. Do I do expireds? Absolutely not. Could I train you on how to do expireds? I could give you the framework that I have with my team. And the reason why I have that framework is because I go out to all the top expired agents that are killing it at expireds. I find out if they have a call that people can join. I found out if they have any part of their playbook that they will share. I find out what scripts are currently working because they test them every day. And then from that, we build out a basic framework and I plug my people into the right places that they need to be to learn from the best. That's what I believe makes me a better team leader than somebody that trains someone how to barely do something. And the reason why I'm sharing that with you is because I believe if you were looking for a new strategy and how to be effective, that's a perfect formula for you to change your business. So it's figure out what that pillar is based on the budget that you have. Then go out and find the people that are doing it the best. Not that say they're doing it the best, but that could show receipts for doing it the best. We have a lot of people selling coaching in this industry. You don't need a coach to tell you what they're good at. You need a coach for accountability. That's why you all show up. You need people because you need community and accountability. That's why you guys are here. You didn't come for me to share with you exactly how you're going to get your listing today because you're going to go out and do exactly what you're already doing. But you are looking for that little nugget and that little adjustment that you can make so you can become more effective at what you're doing, right? Anyway, that's my preachy on that. So these are the questions that I have my agents ask themselves every morning. And it's really, really helped us grow a lot. And that is, and y'all can write these down or just kind of just listen to them, and I hope they resonate, is who do I need to become in order to achieve the freedom to do whatever it is that you want to do? Who do I need to become? Because I work for my future self. And I'm not going into all mindset here because I want to talk about strategy and productivity and how to be productive. But I personally, the way that I break through the excuses that I make throughout the day is that I know that my future self needs me to show up as a professional and not an amateur. So when it comes to open houses, if you're too busy on a Monday to prepare for your Friday open house, you shouldn't be doing open houses. You need to find another strategy. If you're too busy or you don't think anyone would want to help you and learn from you and shadow you so that you could get help doing the signs so you could be less sweaty and more present, you shouldn't be doing open houses. It's just simple, right? Because whatever we do, we need to do it with excellence, like absolute excellence. And in order to be excellent, we have to take accountability for the process. So here's the questions that I ask. What do I want to do? Who do I serve? What transformations do I deliver? What impact do I make? And what lasting legacy am I creating? So I put a couple on this slide, were just a couple little ideas, and they seem so general. But if you were to make a list and add a few activities to your calendar, I guarantee you your business will change in a few months, even within a few weeks. If you are effectively doing open houses or whatever pillar that is, if you're attending and creating an event, focusing on community engagement and building awareness. I helped a real estate agent build a business plan a couple months ago. And I said, well, who do you like to, who do you want to serve? What do you like to do for fun? And what's your budget? Do you have any money to spend on real estate, or do you need to get productive first? And she said, well, I don't have any money to spend. I was like, okay, perfect. Luckily, we live in a digital world and you don't really need any materials. You can just create a really good site within your CRM and have some great information that you can nurture people with through social media. So we set up her plan that she was going to do community service for 6 weeks. She was going to show up and do community service 4 days a week. And she was able to get productive within 6 weeks. She had business. And she never talked about real estate. She just let people know that she was in real estate, and then they would ask her questions. I know that may not apply to you all, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of agents hurting out there. So I wanted to share that story because I do believe that we can help people create business without just telling them to hit the phones. I'm not saying phones don't work, but we don't have to hit the phones in order to become productive. I don't know if that is any of this helping you guys? Because I could go a different direction. Somebody jump in the mic and give me some feedback. I'll keep moving.
Jessica, this is amazing. You're amazing. Yes.
Well, what's helpful to you?
I was trying to, there's something you said about, you were about a minute and a half ago when you said, you asked those 4 questions. And would you mind repeating those?
Oh, there's LaShawn. What's up, LaShawn?
Hey, Jessica, it's Tawana. I just tried to jump in. Hi.
Oh, and I couldn't see the video. I could just see the LaShawn Peterson name come in.
Yeah.
Hey, lady,
Sorry.
are you at the hospital? Your daughter's going to surgery?
Yes, in surgery
man.
now.
Leg
Oh my
surgery
gosh.
in Houston. Oh, man. Good luck. I
Yeah.
hope it all goes well.
All right, thanks. I'm on hide.
Okay, that's cool. So the questions that I ask is, who do I serve? Is that the one you're talking about, Stacey?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and this is what I have my newer agents or new to the business or new to reinventing themselves in the business
I
questions.
think this will help people distill it down,
Yeah.
Yeah. So who do I serve? Keep going.
Who do I
Keith just
serve?
put it in the chat. Yeah.
Oh, there we
Okay,
go.
perfect.
Got it.
Yeah, what problems do I solve? And the reason why we ask our questions in our morning, we ask these questions in the morning huddle, is it gets us and shakes us out of that zone that we're in sometimes where we're like, how are we going to get our next lead? How are we going to pay our mortgage next month? How am I going to be able to go on that trip? Those are our whys. Those are our reasons why. But if we focus just on like the stress of, leads and converting leads and all that, we get away from what really, really matters. And it puts us in that mindset of like, who do I serve? Where are those people? So we're going to jump into a couple strategies, and I'll share this deck with you all. But the reason why I have this slide up, it's actually something I just like to share because there's a lot of words in there. I'll share one, is be the energy. Be the person that somebody says, I needed to see that person today. I feel better every time I see this person. Every time I talk to Stacey, I just feel better. We all have that person in our life, right? As long as we don't burn them out, they're that person in our life. So that's what I train my agents on. And that's why Donica got 2 listing appointments after an open house in 2 weeks and got them listed. One being a seller that said, I'll only sell my house if I could sell it for $950,000. And she listed the house for $850,000. And she called me before the listing appointment and said, I have no idea what to say. I said, it doesn't matter. We'll work on that. What matters is that you continue to be the person that made them feel comfortable and excited about what was possible. You created that environment for them, right? All right, so I will share these slides with you all. Real quick on this, we won't spend too much time here because I want to get into some more strategy. We don't have a lot of time, or not really strategy, but like a couple little tactics, if you will, little things that you could do in addition to what you think you're already doing well that maybe will help you increase the conversion. But what problems can you solve? Like just to get into more detail, what does that look like? Number one, The customer is surrounded by people and headlines giving them bad information every day. Just like we have agents out there confused about NAR, we have customers out there that are being silent at work because everyone disagrees with their beliefs, their politics, and everything else, and they feel that they cannot speak and they have no release. They're in a bad relationship, they're going through a divorce, and they feel stuck in their house. They don't think they can buy one until they get the divorce decree. That's who we're serving. Those are the problems that we solve. I'm going to give you an example of what you could do to solve the problem. You're going to call your lender today, and you're going to say, hey, I know we've been busy, but I just want to catch 30 minutes with you. Let's grab some coffee on a Zoom or at the local coffee shop. And I'd like you to bring me a stack of all of the products that you currently believe are different or solve problems for the customers that I'm currently targeting. Divorces. Okay. It's like, for example, my lender, I had no idea. They have this amazing product where before they have a divorce decree, as long as they have a judge, an actual signed agreement, that he can completely remove the mortgage liability, the debt, and increase the debt to or lower the debt to income ratio for that person before they actually get their divorce decree. That could change a life for people. I had no idea that they had that. Number two, hey, what down payment assistance programs do you have? Because I have all these clients that say they don't want to pay a commission, but they've got all these closing costs. And I feel like if I get rid of a lot of the closing costs, all of a sudden my client is not so worried. By the way, I'm going to ask the seller if they, in the offer, that they pay my 2.5% commission. And when they give me 2.25, guess what? Your client's not going to say, oh my God, I have to pay you a 1/4 point of commission for everything you've done. If you present it that way. But if you don't, guess what they're going to say? Wow, that's fantastic. I'll have to pay you a 1/4 point. Amazing. Thank you so much. So see, we have to think outside of what we're surrounded by. And your client needs you to be that light for them and solve that problem. Number two, the customer has a small network and they're limited to solve problems in their daily life. So for example, my team, we got everybody together. We put together a little flyer. We had all our agents get on the phone, call their past clients, and circle prospect the neighborhood where we have a listing and say, hey, I'm Jessica Nieto with eXp Realty, and I'm listing this house on 123 Success Street, and the AC broke down right before we were going to do the open house. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, we wanted to call and let y'all know that we met a great vendor. He was able to come service it, get it turned on for a really great price, and just wanted to know, is your air blowing cool? Because it is hot as hell outside. And they're like, no, but thank you so much. And guess what? Like we've created a conversation. So we look for problems that people are having, a way that we could solve them, and we reach out. That was a really successful one, by the way. Got a couple referrals out of it. Number three, the customer lacks clarity on what it is they want to do next and limited information on what the opportunities there are. Same thing with coming to eXp. I just don't, there was a lady actually at the Win event, and she said, you know, I know what I want to do. Like I want to go to eXp. I just don't know what this transition is going to look like. And I'm a little bit scared about like what that is going to be like. Like makes perfect sense. Same thing with a client. They know that they want to move. They just don't know what that looks like. People love process. If you show them a process, they will adopt it because then they understand. There's a guy at eXp, I can't remember his name. I was telling Tawana this actually. We're not doing exactly this, but I like the way he called it, is he's calling it educational tours. So if you meet a buyer and they're like, hey, I'm not really ready to buy yet, guess what? Now that we have to do buyer rep agreements, you got to do a buyer rep agreement before you show that house. It could be even non-exclusive if you want, but at least you could get an agreement in place and you could go and show them what the experience of looking at a home looks like, having a conversation like feeling, touching real estate, getting to know you in person, and actually signing an agreement that could be 12 months, even if it's non-exclusive. You now have a client relationship. All right. Transformations can you provide confident, informed clients? These are the things that we do every day. Raving fans that refer. From the time we meet a person, like any human being, from the time we meet them, licensed or unlicensed, we ask them 7 times from the time we meet them to the time that they become like a signed contract client 7 times if they know anybody that is interested in buying or selling real estate. Guess how many referrals we get out of that? A ton. In fact, I have a listing, a couple that was referred to me by one of my big institutional clients, and I listed their home in Compton, California. And we listed within a week. We got the one of their friends that was flying out that day for a funeral. We said, why not go look at some houses while she's here, and got her into an $800,000 new construction contract. And then we listed the lady's house down the street. Those 2 contacts were made before I even had the carpet put in the listing that I was going to be listed. I know that seems like a lot, but when you go back to the questions and you ask yourself, what transformations do I provide? What problems do I solve? You get out of the mindset that you're asking for something in return. And you put yourself into the mindset of, I am serving as many people as I can. I am impacting as many lives as I possibly can. And that is how we show up every day to do real estate. It works. And then become a community connector. I'm not going to go through all these, but I just wanted you guys to start like helping you and the team and the people that you lead, whether it's yourself, your family, your friends, your team, or your community. These are the type of questions that you want to ask. So this is my model. It's not different from most. We all believe we have a problem with time, but really it's just the nucleus of all the things that give us our time, right? So energy and mindset, those make us more effective at everything we do. Strategic action. One of my mentors, James Rembert, who was introduced to me by Tawana Peterson Jackson and LaShawn, he uses the phrase, we move at the speed of implementation. So if any of you wrote something down that resonated with you this morning, how soon until you try it? If you get an idea from the Women's Impact Network, how soon before you implement it? So we move at the speed of implementation. Any of you that are still not doing video, you're like, well, I have to do this, this, and this, and that first. But what would happen if you did the video and then you learned and got better at those little tiny components, and you came out on the other side of doing 5 really shitty videos, a person that now knows how to create a pretty decent video? So we move at the speed of implementation. That's the strategic action. And then skill and mastery, of course, you have access to that at eXp Realty. I'm going to skip over this slide, but it is my framework for success. So you could get it in the slides. I'm going to end here with some questions because I don't want to go too far into what I think is important. I tried to pivot a little bit. We talked about in the beginning, vulnerability. Be vulnerable with your clients. Be a human. Be a listener. Be empathetic. When they hear you listening, how do they hear you listening? They hear you listening by the questions that you ask, right? So that's how they hear you listening. That's how they feel seen and heard, and they feel human. Not many people feel human all day long. The people at Starbucks, hi, how are you this morning? I'll take the caramel macchiato. That's not a question. You're not asking them how they're doing. Here's how you ask that question. Hey, how are you doing this morning? Silence, like quiet. That's how you ask, how are you doing today? So a little challenge for y'all. What's up, Melissa? Hey, Shannon. Just a little challenge. Like, I think everyone in here is in community with good people, so you know better. But pay attention to that. See how many people say in one complete sentence. Happens to be all day with real estate agents in Los Angeles. Oh my God. Hey, Jessica, how are you? I was calling on your listing of blah, blah, blah. How many offers you got? The question is, how many offers do you have? Not how am I doing? I always like to respond with, I'm doing great. How are you? They're like, oh, sorry. Are you? No, just kidding. We don't have to give people grace, right? They're trying to move fast because most agents that answer the phone or don't answer their phone, they don't have an opportunity. So they're trying to get it in as fast as they can and be respectful of my time. But what they did is not ask me how I'm doing. So anyway, just a small little loving reminder. Who wants to jump in with
Jessica,
some questions? What's up?
Well, I wanted to comment on what you just said. I do a lot of reverse prospecting, and when I call the agent, it's the first thing I'm doing. Hey, Jessica, how you doing? And I pause. And they don't know what to do.
What?
They're like, what? Is he really asking me for what I'm doing?
Like,
I'm
who the
doing
hell
all
is this
right.
guy?
Like,
What a weirdo. No, it's real. And
Exactly.
I've met a lot of really good friends that are real estate agents in my community or in my markets. And that's how it started. So, all right, who's got questions? You could throw me under any bus. I love to be thrown under buses. Ask me anything, or I'll keep going.
So I know that you
Jessica, I
have.
love
Go ahead.
Oh,
go
sorry,
ahead.
Melissa. We'll go next to you, Melissa.
Okay, hey, this is Meredith. I love what when you were talking about open houses. I have a lot of listings as well. I do open houses, but I am like listening to you talk. I am not excellent at them. But you really made me take a hard look at myself and the process I like go through for open houses. We do take time and identify them for the weekend, but I don't put a lot of thought into them and I don't get great attendance. And so that was really hard for me to hear, to take that hard look at myself, because I'm a high producing agent. So I think like, oh, they're going to be great.
Yeah, we get complacent when we're productive.
Yeah, it was a good reminder to just like really treat that as a huge opportunity, just like I would prepare for a listing appointment. So thank you.
You are welcome. And just one little quick thing to add. I have an agent who created these little gift bags. She went to Michael's and she got like just a big old like bulk of them and little ribbon, and she puts her card on them. And then she puts in there like just a QR code thing to our buyer and seller process, or buyer and seller kits, and puts out like a vendor list that doesn't have the names and phone numbers or like anything about the vendors. It just has all the kind of life events like, hey, if you have a birthday party, like a quinceañera, like a graduation, we have decorators, all the different reasons why somebody would want to make a move. And we put that in there and say, just text this number. Let me know how I can connect you. I'll hook you up with our most trusted vendor in that category. And she hands those out and people were like, oh my God. And she put something yummy in there too, I think like chocolates or something. Melissa, what you got?
You kind of already answered it. I was
You're
wondering
mute, Mama. Or
oh, can you hear me now? Hold on.
Not sure. It might be your mic. So we'll go over to
Hear Melissa.
somebody that had their hand up.
Hi.
Melissa,
Cheryl.
Melissa, we can hear you.
You
Oh.
can?
Yeah.
Oh, I can hear you now. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, you kind of answered it. I was wondering if y'all were doing anything specific. I've been working with a few ladies on coming up with swag bags for open houses for buyers. So you already answered it with what one of your team members is doing. The question was, were you doing anything specific in the open houses other than those amazing questions, the 2 questions you asked? I'd never thought to ask that. I mean, gosh.
Imagine if a customer, or what happens when you walk through an airport? What do you see? You see a lot about the area that you're in, right? Like art, architecture, but you also see advertisements. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I'm sure you've all heard it before, like how many ads we see a day. So what we do is we also set up the house to be like a billboard for us and our vendors, right? And so like, for example, we'll put this house was staged by so-and-so, but we don't put their information. We put our information. This house was whatever by, and then we also in there, we make sure that everybody has a copy of our process. The reason is because people love process and nobody shows them their process. That's not very common. And so people think, oh, wow, they've got it together, which we do, but we're always changing our process. So what we try to do is keep it a live document. That's one tip I would share with you, because you don't want people to have a bunch of old information and you want it to be a real live document. So you can use Google Suite products for free, like Google Slides is a really good one. You can use Canva, etc. What else? Hey, Jessica Bush, how are you?
Cheryl has her hand up too.
Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl. What you got?
Hi there. So all the
Hi.
information has been awesome, and I've been writing. So thank you so much. I've been in the real estate business probably since 1999. I bought my first property as an investment and did that for quite a few years. Got my license the first time in 2007. So I've always worked on my own. And a lot of the concepts that you talk about seem that it's really beneficial if you work within a team and you put up your numbers, your production numbers and that kind of thing. And I can only guess that, of course, you said you have a team. So what do you think about the value of the team in order to being a part of a team in order to take yourself to the next level? And what would be the first step to do that?
To create one or to join one?
Well, either one. Do you think it's
Okay.
advantageous to kind of pull people in or go searching or?
I was having a conversation with an agent this last week, and she's on the call, but I'm not going to say who it is. We were talking about the value of having a team and when you should have a team. I truly believe that there are different thought processes and philosophies around this. So I don't want you to take information from me and have it make such an impact that it makes you make a certain decision, because we're all a little bit different. We're all in different markets. We all have different goals. Like some of you might want to say, well, I want to work less. That's why I want a team. Some of you might say, well, I really need more community. I want to give more. I want to give back more. Or I'm just so busy and I have so much business that I need a team so that I could give them that business. The last one is why I personally think that you should start a team. And then the other one is that you want to make an impact. Those, I believe, are my personal philosophy around why you should have a team. A lot of people are doing the mentor program. I love the EXP mentor program. I think it's absolutely vital and crucial. However, if you have 5 mentees and you're struggling, you need to stop mentoring and you need to get productive so you could be a better person in your own life and you can lead better. And when you get productive, then you should start a split team, because that's where you have enough incentive to make enough money from those splits to where, and you have enough leads coming in because you're productive that you could give out, that it gives you back your time. And it actually makes sense, and it's a business. So you're productive, effective, and profitable, then you can actually help people.
And really quick on productivity, y'all, what Jessica's talking about with the mentoring program, I think I sent it to most of y'all. If not, reach out to me. But the FastCat program.
Oh my gosh. So I saw the results on that.
Y'all, it's crazy. Brian Ellington's our chief learning officer, and he was talking about it yesterday. Registration opens today, and it's for newer agents that are wanting to cap. It's a FastCat program, but I just wanted to tell you, they did a beta test of 109 agents, 109 of our new agents. And in 6 weeks, those new agents signed 227 contracts.
Like, is that amazing? And
that's amazing.
I spoke, or I taught one class in the FastCat beta program, or beta launch. It was incredible. But I want to answer your question, Cheryl, for what the most important thing is about being part of a team, or why people join a team or as a team leader. Number one, it is accountability. Number 2, community. That's it. The training and development and skill and everything, skill mastery and all those things. Absolutely. But the real reason why they join and why they will pay you as a team leader is for that. And I will tell you a very, very short story about it. The quickest way that I could tell it is that I had to, when my first real estate team didn't work out, because I was so focused on what I had to give and how I had to make it perfect for the type of agent that I thought I should attract. And it was miserable. And when I realized that I could build a team and attract people that are like me, not like-minded, right? We want to be around people that challenge our thoughts, but that their hustle was the same. They had similar values. They cared about their family. They didn't want to go to an office because I'm all over the place. They wanted to see me on Zoom. They wanted access to me and the quick little tidbits that put them back in the right direction, and the community that they found within my team, and that they like working hard and playing hard. If they're going to do open houses Thursday to Sunday, they're going hiking on Monday. They're not talking to anyone on the phone on Tuesday morning when they go drop off their dry cleaning or take the dogs for a walk. Like, I wanted to be in community with people that are going to build the life that they want by design. And when I understood that, that was one part of it. The second one was understanding that I'm worthy of people paying me for my effing time. And that was the hardest one. I just had an icon agent join my team that just iconed and joined my team and gave me a 25% split. Why in the hell did he do that? Because he wants my time, and my time is worth it. Love being with y'all. I hope
One last question. Tom's got his hand up. One last question.
Oh, Tom, I couldn't see you. What's up, Tom?
Hey,
I don't
good
have to
morning.
run. But...
Thank you so much. This is awesome. I just recently got a certified probate specialist designation, and I know it goes in line with your divorce lead generation you do. I'm just curious, do you call, mail, all of the above, do a video? What's your touch with the divorce?
It's
leads?
relationships with attorneys.
Mm-hmm.
And what you want to send them is also a video, a landing page, and something that they're going to go, I've never seen that before. I'll talk to this person. And that's going to be the product or the solution. So that's number one. Number two, of course, you could get data from your title rep so that you could target divorces. Everybody has their own strategy. Like me personally, I have the stupidest, like most ridiculous, most inappropriate script that you've ever heard in your life. People call me, they're like, yep, I'm getting a divorce. I'm like, congratulations. Only one time did it not go well. It was because they had just been served that day. Other than that, anyway, the point is integrate yourself. Find a way to be different. I go right into building a relationship with them and then letting them know that I'm a safe space for their spouse or whoever it is that they're going through it with. But be different. And how do we be? It's not always about being better. It's about being different. Because if you interview 8 people, again, it all goes back to the person that made you feel better on the other side of that interaction is the person that they will hire, especially if they also trust you, and you build the trust by giving them good information, education, and being professional. So
Excellent.
I hope that
Thank
helps, Tom.
you. Perfect.
Thank you. Good luck with your
Jessica,
congratulations.
You are amazing, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. I know we could sit here for hours and learn
Yeah,
from
I
you.
want to be respectful of your time. Thank you.
No, but you're just a wealth of information. And so the fact that you got up super early to come visit with us and pour into the agents just means the world. And so
Happy to
y'all
serve.
have this recorded in the tribe chat, like go back and watch it a million times. Anything that Jess sends me, I will put in that group as well. But thank you for showing up, leaning in, and being here today. Y'all have an amazing weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Have a great weekend.
Bye, Jessica. Thank you, hon.
Bye. Look at all these faces. See y'all.
Bye.
Bye.